Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So yesterday was a pretty interesting day. We have got quite a bit of potential structure forming. Now, so I just want to highlight a few things before we get down to what we can be trading today. So first things first, if we look at the moving averages, we are sort of in a bearish pattern. Okay, so we're in a downward trend. We are below the 155 and we are dealing with the 8-hour chart at the moment. However, we do have this consolidation triangle which broke. Rule of thumb says that you should expect it to come back to the apex, which is roughly in this area here at 44.75. We have got a daily close above for 45 level, 4500 level, which is a level that we are waiting to capture. So let's just put that one in there. So that is roughly, that's 45.25, but that was the previous area of support, a little bit above it, a little bit there, and it was resistance early in the week as well. So, and then lastly, obviously, we're above the 60 move EMA, so which will also be the 50 on the 8 hours, it's a 50 on the daily roughly as well. So there's a lot going on here. We've started the week with confusion, and then we've had this solid green bar, which could be an exhaustion bar, or it could be defined as a break. If it is a break, we need to wait for a retest of structure. So let's just get down to what it is. And you can see there is the upper end of the range, the bottom end of the range, and then we broke to the upside. So is a break at the moment. Oscillators are pointing sky high at the moment, so they're indicating that there is merit for more. We got a crossover on the 3-hour sort of last week already, and we've just been hovering around below it, and it was looking, Onimus was looking that we were going to start falling, but the buyers decided to come in sort of not right in the beginning of the session. They still let it fall a bit and then jumped in when they saw whatever value they saw. So for me at the moment, it is starting to reverse this downward picture, and it is looking like we've bounced up, we've come into consolidation, and now we're looking for the second leg up. Second leg up is pretty much that view there, but it's not going to be easy. That's going to be a pretty messy move, and let's just get that there. That's going to take us all the way up to 47.68 or 47.68. So on the way up there's a lot of resistance, so that's why I say it's going to be pretty messy. So with all of that noise, what can we expect? So there was the trend line, there was a trend line break, there was a trend line retest on the hour, crossover of all the moving averages. Don't like the oscillators at the moment, so I'm almost of the opinion that we should pull back onto some form of structure, and I'm just going to use this bottom one here. That would make sense. So a pullback into 4500 again would really make sense, especially on the higher time frames, and that's just because we've been hovering around here for so long, for a couple of days and then a couple of days in the past. So 4500 is a pretty, it's a round number, and it is also something which everybody is focused on. So that would be first prize for me, a nice pullback into that level. That will give me the pullback, and then also give me the ability to start looking for the structure break to the upside. If that doesn't happen, then obviously I want to see continuation and then pull back onto the next level that we should be looking at, which is kind of right here where we are. If you look to the left, you definitely don't want to be long when you've got this kind of resistance to the left. So, and with the oscillators looking like they are. So I suspect we should get some kind of a pullback. I have no intention of looking for shorts at the moment. This is looking like it could potentially be a sort of a pullback. So I just want to get to the higher time frames when we close, because this is the one we need to pay attention to. So if you look at the daily, you'll see the daily had bounced on the 155. You can see we spent 4 days there bouncing around, and then sort of accelerated. So if you look at that structure on the daily, it is a fairly decent view that this thing could be moving to the upside. The bigger picture on the daily as well is if we get above the current high of February, which is 4,600, that validates a cup and handle, and there's your big cup and there's your handle, and that in itself will open us up for new highs. The last thing that I want to point out here is the daily trend line here, which is this one here. So we've got a flag inside here, but there's a daily trend line which we're kind of hovering on, is coming up, and at the same time we've got the moving averages here. So yeah, if you look at the daily 50-50, we could still sort of continue to the downside, very possible. And the daily means 4,600 is the level that we need to break for a complete trend reversal that we need to look for. If you come down back to the areas that we're trading, we're looking for an early signal, and that early signal is around 4,500. I was going to do that. It's going to be there. So it's going to be there, 4,500. You can see there, break, not quite a decent retest. So that's what I'm saying here. We've got the triangle, the apex of the triangle, everything hovers around 4,500. So we're waiting to see 4,500 recaptured. And then you're looking, the bulls are going to be looking to break 4,600. 4,600 goes, then you can start expecting 5,000. I mean, that's pretty much the moral of the story. So yeah, it's looking really interesting at the moment, more bullish than bearish, but it's not 100% convinced that we have what we're looking for just yet. So I'm waiting to see what happens on the different levels. And first one I'm paying attention to is 45.22. Definitely don't want to be long up here when I've got this daily trend line as well. But if we do get above it and start finding support on it, then I'm definitely looking for something there. Alternatively, I would expect maybe a little move to this area, then a deeper pullback again down to 4,500 before bouncing off that. But if we can get some support at 4,500, that's definitely an area to pay attention to. So yeah, it's still kind of sit on hands today, but there is merit to start watching the chart a little bit more intently. For some form of base to form, if it hasn't formed already. But I just want that confirmation before putting my money into it. So anyway, that's kind of my long-winded view this morning. It is looking interesting, and we are watching very closely. Lots of things to pay attention to, but just get your levels drawn in and keep a cool head. Rather err on the side of caution at the moment because volatility is still here. I mean, you can still sort of swing 200, 300 points in 5 minutes, and that can hurt you if you have got your position sizing wrong. Anyway, that's me for today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.